Welcome back, everyone, to episode 16 of the US series. In this episode, we are going to try to improve trade with South Korea, Taiwan, Philippines, Indonesia, Australia. And that's about it for the time being. So, the goal of that is to hopefully build up a military alliance to all line up against the threat of China. And also, we have the goal of trying to build up our military. So we want to build high velocity missiles, except it's predicting that that technology is roughly about 4 years, 3.5 years away. So the only way to get this technology is to try to steal it from China or Russia. And the other thing is, in order to deal with China, we're going to have to improve our Navy. So we're going to have a better submarine. Also going to have a improved aircraft carrier. We already have the destroyer. We have the anti-aircraft missile launcher. And a self-propelled gun. Let's see. Level 3 missile silo. So all of these are improvements that should help us be able to deal with China in case of a military conflict. So we're going to max out ICT and cybersecurity. And we're also going to max out matter science. The next thing is I'm going to drop the interest rate again. Alright, so next, I want to get the ball rolling with improving relations. So we're going to start it off with a foreign exchange student program. So start off with Australia. I'm gonna do one with Canada. Let's do one with Colombia. With Congo. Doing Indonesia. Just doing with Jamaica and Japan. Just doing with Mexico. Papua New Guinea. One with the Philippines. South Korea. And Taiwan. Already have one with Vietnam. Just doing with the UK also. And Turkey. So it looks like everyone accepted. Alright, so
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
alright, so let's start off with Australia. Let's try to improve trade. So we'll give them a 25% discount on industry, agriculture, service, and energy. Let's go to service. Alright, so alright, so we have all of that. Alright, so we have carbo concrete. We're going to keep that for ourselves. In fact, we're going to keep everything for ourselves.
One of our drones has detected camouflaged enemy units that we have listed on our military map. We are...
Alright, so next we're going to go with South Korea. Same thing, 25% discount. And energy. Alright, so within maybe a day or so, there's going to be an improvement with... Alright, so we already have the results. Alright, so next, let's go with Taiwan. Alright, we're gonna put that right there. Alright, and energy. Alright, I have proof that Afghan government bought 2 nuclear missiles from Japan. Now, this is where I have the issue with this game. Japan is not a nuclear power. They don't have any nuclear weapons at all.
Our sportsmen are ready.
So, Eversim needs to improve that. And if a country's going to purchase nuclear weapons, make sure it's a country that actually produces nuclear weapons. So hopefully this is addressed in the next update, whenever that is. Or at least in the 2024 version.
The competition will begin in a week. All our athletes are in top form.
Alright, so let's check with Vietnam. Let's see. Check service. Alright, so well, let's bump that up to 25%. And the energy, we will bump that up to 25%. Alright, so our treasury reserve is 357 billion. Alright, so let's go to Georgia. And we're going to do oil and gas in Georgia. So we're going to build 4 of these. Alright, so we're done with gas and we're going to start producing more oil. And one more for oil. Alright, so we're actually going to do a little bit of infrastructure for transportation. So we're going to do a hyperloop from Atlanta to Memphis. Alright, so that's 660 miles. Let's cut that down to about 18 months. So that's only 31 billion that we're spending. Alright, so let's check our energy needs. Let's go with 2 more nuclear plants. Put one right there. And put one right there.
Our governmental cell informs me that it has had the opportunity to approach this potential informer. According to my calculations, using transactional analysis, Chicago score naturally, the team has at most a 63.8% chance of making a strategic gain in its position by focusing on this target and
Alright, so still want crime to go down. So let's go to justice and construction, and we're going to build 500 more prisons. Alright, so we're going to deal with some legal immigration. And we're going to build 500 more detention centers. So we're going to cut back on the amount of immigrants we allow to come in. So that has 55% approval. We'll go ahead and try to push that through. And I think it's time to do a massive deportation operation. And let's see if we could get a treaty with Mexico. Alright, so specific reinforcement of surveillance control of Mexican border with the United States. But immigrants coming from Mexico receive and receive and detain specifically immigrants in transit in Mexico's Territory. Alright, so I think this one works best for us. And we'll offer 70 billion. You know what? No. We'll offer 50 billion.
The demonstrators intend to send a powerful signal of their opposition to the government. Up until now, we have no serious incidents to report. The processions and their usual batch of caricature banners and ridiculous refrains continue their route led by leaders of the movement, themselves supported by a few intellectuals and committed artists.
One of our drones has detected.
The demonstrators intend to describe it to you, the highly...
Alright, so... So we're gonna need more commandos. Okay, so Mexico accepted our immigration agreement. So hopefully that should drop immigration down a lot more. Alright, so I spent a large portion of our treasury reserve. Let's reduce 40 billion. Alright, so I think I'm gonna stop. Pull back with building homes. I'm gonna slow down everything a little bit. Growth is up to 3%. That's excellent. And we have the mastery of nuclear fusion. So we're the first ones, but we're going to keep that for ourselves.
The clashes have ceased in the city. All the protesters have dispersed. It was pretty inevitable. All things weren't going in their favor, with the protest movement growing increasingly unpopular.
Alright. So even Malaysia, they're starting to like us now. Alright, so up to 25.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Alright. So that passed.
Demonstrations are taking place at this very moment in the country's main cities. All of them have come together in opposition of the government, chanting their usual slogans and accompanied by a few emblematic celebrities.
All right. So because we have a large portion of the North Pacific, gonna move 2 cruisers to our new states.
Your politics are on the right track.
Alright, and gonna put Alright, so that's gonna take 9 months. Alright, I think I'm gonna cancel that.
The funeral will take place next week. Do you want to attend the ceremony?
Alright, so let's go to industry. And because I know we're gonna have a new aircraft carrier soon, I'm gonna make a subsidy for aircraft carriers by $5 billion. Alright, the other thing we want to do is I'm going to increase drug production from our own factories and warehouses. So I'm going to invest $3 billion. We'll hold back.
Incredible! The first prize, can you believe it? All our cultural policy has been indirectly rewarded by this.
Alright, so let's have a meeting with Australia's Prime Minister.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity.
This loss is so very painful to us all. Dear in our memories, these loved ones will always remain. Each and every one of these families have my entire support in this difficult moment.
Alright, so let's check our debt. Alright, inflation is down to 291. Let's go to taxes. And we are going to increase. And industrial pollution tax. That's going to pass. 69% approval. To a 0.9% tax on plastics.
Ahem. Scientific rigor has proved its superiority over doctrinal barbarity. A simulation program based on Mering's models, the application of transactional analysis to ambush situations, a pyrotechnical approach to interpersonal dynamics in combat situations. As you can see, nothing is left to chance, which is why this operation was successful in eradicating the terrorist organization.
Alright, so we got rid of the total jihad. What was that? Total jihad or... yeah. But I think there's a couple more... There's a couple more groups in Somalia. Because we still had these terrorist camps here. Alright, let's go to education. And... let's go with teacher training. Alright, so we eradicated the terrorist group Total Jihad in Somalia. Still have two other groups there.
According to their analysis, our services believe that this conspiracy theory no longer interests the...
The decree takes effect as of today.
Alright, so we kicked out 771,492 illegal immigrants.
Demonstrators are marked.
I'd be happy to.
Let's propose a military alliance. Okay. So let's try land and one. Let's try to get one more. Alright, so one isn't bad. So we'll go ahead and end this meeting. So we have 76 billion in our treasury reserve.
One of our drones has...
Alright, so I think I'm gonna end this episode. Once I gain access to better equipment, such as the aircraft carrier and submarines, gonna do a military alliance with some of these countries. I'll try to see what our relationship is like with India also. So in the meantime, thank you for supporting this channel. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button, and I will see you soon.